Just out of curiosity, what happens if you were to cut these?
That's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up. There's a lot of confusion out there on cutting hockey shafts and what that does to flex, and I want to try to simplify it for everybody. The physical makeup of the shaft does not change when you cut the shaft. That should be fairly easy for people to understand. In engineering terms, we refer to a stiffness of a cross-section as EI, where E is the stiffness of the material, and I is the moment of inertia of the shape of the shaft. So those two components are never changing when you cut a shaft here. You're not going to change anything down here. What you're changing is the amount you can leverage a stick.
Right.
So I get the question a lot, what's the flex? If I cut this 50 flex down 4 to 6 inches, what's my flex going to be? The answer is it's a 50 flex.
Right.
The flex of the shaft does not change. Flex is typically measured down in the flex point of the shaft in this range. So you're not changing the flex.
Right. You're just changing the leverage of that.
Exactly. So if you hold the shaft up here and flex it down here, it's going to bend more than if you hold it down here and flex it. It's going to feel stiffer.
Right.
But the actual flex rating is still the same.
Okay.
So a player's thinking, okay, I've got 3 different sticks to choose from, and maybe one of them is a pro stock at 66 inches long. Well, if I cut 6 inches off of that, it's going to get a lot stiffer. No, it's not, because you're used to playing with a 60-inch stick. You cut 6 inches off that pro stock, if the flex rating is the same as your 60-inch stick, it's going to be exactly the same.
Right.
What changes is leverage. Taller players are going to be able to leverage a stick more. They're typically going to use a stiffer shaft. Shorter players, they don't have as much leverage. They're typically going to use a softer flex.
Right.
So what I tell everybody is, okay, if you're planning on trimming 3 to 4 inches off of this shaft, grip it here, flex the shaft. If the flex feels right to you,
Right.
you're fine. Nothing's going to happen when you cut the stick.
Right.
Good example of that here, I brought 2 of our pro stock sticks with us. Huge difference in length on these sticks.
Right.
This one is Ryan Johansson's stick. This
Uh-huh.
one is Mitch Mollner's stick.
Wow.
Okay? So drastic difference in length, 66 inches compared to about 57, 58 inches
Right.
for Mollner's stick. Now, nothing happens if they cut these sticks. They're still going to be the same flex rating.
Right.
But since this is a longer stick, Johansson's using a much stiffer flex. This is a 105 flex shaft. Mollner's using a shorter shaft. He uses an 80 flex shaft.
Right.
So again, it's all about leverage in choosing the flex. Buy the flex that's appropriate, trim it however you need it, and that's going to be the flex when you play with the stick. And think of it this way. Both of these are 105 flex. If I cut this down to the same length, you have the exact same stick.
Right.
They'll measure the same on the flex machine, everything's identical. It's all about leverage and size of the player.
Right.